A little while back, one of the viewers of the channel got in touch with a commission request. They had created their own Homebrew Space Marine chapter and wanted me to build them a chapter master based on the chapter's background. I really liked the idea and thought it would make a fantastic opportunity for another Homebrew chapter conversion guide. I'm Pete the Wargamer, and in this video I'll be showing you how to build a member of the Angels Repentant. So, as I was building a chapter master, and a Primus one at that, I needed to choose a base model for the conversion that would suitably reflect this rank. Ultimately, I settled on the Indomitus Primus Lieutenant. The torso and backpack were ornate and detailed enough to represent a higher ranking Primus Space Marine, such as a chapter master. So, from its sprue, I removed everything but the arms and the head and the sword before cleaning up the components. As I wasn't planning on using the gun and shield arm of the Primus Lieutenant, I no longer needed the protruding tabs at the shoulders, so these were promptly clipped away and smooth flat in order to create a flat surface to glue on some different arms. With this done, I was then able to proceed to glue the torso together. Next up, I needed some weaponry. The Angels Repentant have close ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus and a forge world near to their home planet. As such, they are well equipped, especially in the plasma weaponry department. In fact, plasma weaponry is so prevalent within the Angels Repentant that each and every member is required to serve amongst the ranks of the Hellblasters, honing their plasma prowess before moving on to other roles. This was especially true of their chapter master, who, despite leaving the lower ranks a long time ago, still opts to arm himself with the Hellblaster's iconic weaponry. As such, I opted to load out the chapter master with an assault plasma incinerator in one arm and a plasma pistol in the other. The bionics of the pistol arm not only throw back to the ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus, but also demonstrates the perils of overcharging plasma weaponry. The result was a very impressive weapons loadout, even if it was illegal in game terms. But the rule of cool won out once again. Additionally, as the Primus Lieutenant that I based this conversion off was carrying a pistol, his holster was already empty, which meant I didn't need to do any adjusting here either. To continue with the theme of plasma weapon prowess amongst the chapter's members, I wanted to add some additional shielding to the chapter master's torso to protect him from overheating. The panels I chose came from the Reaver kit and are in fact the grav chute fins. After comparing the pieces against the torso, I could see that they would be a good fit, although some trimming was required. I began by clipping away the hinged part of the fins. This was then smoothed flat using my knife. With the hinged part removed, I could once again compare the extra armor panel against the torso and get a better idea of how the panel will fit. I could see at this point that the Aquila iconography would prevent me from getting a flush fit of the armor panel against the chest. Therefore, some additional trimming was required. The right side of the chest required less adjustment, as the small shield that the Lieutenant's kit came with would have already covered up part of this. However, for the left side, I needed to use my knife to carefully shave away parts of the icon before smoothing the surface flat. Once I was happy with how the panels were fitting, I was able to glue them both into place. I had opted to perform this particular step after I had attached the arms, in order to ensure that my placement of the panels wouldn't impact how the arms were attached. With the arms and torso in place, I needed to pick some shoulder pads. By using arms from outside the Lieutenant's kit, I was able to choose my own shoulder pads that fit the rank of a Chapter Master. The Vanguard and Stern Guard Veterans kit contain some fantastically ornate and detailed options, like this pair that I took from the Vanguard set. Even though they are from a Firstborn Marine kit, these parts work perfectly well with primary scale arms, and so they just needed to be glued into place with no trimming or adjustments required. For the head, again I wanted something that helped to feed into the chapter's use of plasma weaponry. I found the Aggressor's heads to be the perfect option. They are a little chunkier, and the extra venting around the sides of the helmet really fits nicely alongside the extra armor. To attach to the torso, all I needed to do was to clip away and trim the tab from the bottom of the neck, before gluing the head into the neck joint on the torso. Next up came attaching the backpack. The standard Primus Lieutenant pack with the extra detailing and iron halo was already perfect for the Chapter Master, so no changes were required. However, I was intending to keep this separate in order to make it easier for me to paint, so for the time being I just dry fitted into place. With the backpack temporarily attached, I could see where I could fit some extra equipment. The Primus Lieutenant carries a sheathed sword, but as I wasn't planning on using this myself, I needed to cover up the place on the side where the sword would have normally fit. This was fairly simple to resolve and just required the addition of some ammo pouches. These can be sourced from a whole bunch of different Space Marine kits, so it's fine to use whatever you have to hand. With the pouches added, all I needed to do was to build a base and to apply the colours of the Angel's Repentant, which left me with the finished Chapter Master of the Angel's Repentant. The bulk of the scheme was a deep blue colour with some white detailing over a choice few of the panels and also over the weapon stocks. The result was a very clean looking finish. This blue and white also helped to create a strong contrast against the gold detailing, which helps to denote this particular model's importance. This was continued across the yellow tabard, which is a reference to the Imperial Fist, the chapter's progenitors. Finally, some green glow over the eyes and plasma vents helps to draw the eye to these important aspects of this model and the chapter. Once again, it was great to have the chance to tackle another Homebrew chapter, and I am incredibly happy with the results. And so, as always, I just want to say a big thank you to all of my supporters and the folks who use my affiliates links. If you would like to help me out with making these videos, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee as a one-off or as an ongoing membership, and you can find a link to that below. Your help is always greatly appreciated, and if you like this video, then check out my other conversion guides and please do consider subscribing. And so until next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.